This is your first day in real estate, and I am your real estate sales trainer and coach, James Festini. And this is the program that's going to teach you how to sell more real estate in less time. Now, I've been doing this as a top producer for 20 years and counting, and there's one thing I know for sure. There is no deal fairy leaving transactions under our pillow at night. We got to wake up every day with the drive and ambition of a brand new agent, and with that kind of tenacity and excitement, we will succeed. So today is your first day in real estate. Record. All right, ladies and gentlemen, in today's episode, I am actually on the line with the developer of the iCanvas app that has recently been rebranded and reemerged into the marketplace as Spotio, the door-to-door tracker. And I know a lot of you have been asking me what apps I use with regards to the online systems and what it is I do when I'm door knocking and what I handle on the phone. And well, this amazing app, I was really excited. And it took forever. It's like I wanted a door knock yesterday, and I kept calling Trey saying, Trey, you got to hook me up, man. Where's this new data version? So this is actually the number one app in both door-to-door sales and just store sales. It's completely redesigned mobile and web app that took the feedback and they took all of our suggestions and put it into action. And Spotio resolves the problem of tracking sales with activities door-to-door. Direct and outside salespeople can take advantage of this thing. It's absolutely awesome. I'm real excited to get back out on the streets with it. With its easy to use and clean interface, you'll actually be able to track every door that you knock, manage prospecting stats, and all the leads that you're gathering in seconds. It's actually on the fly. So I've actually got Trey on the line right now, the developer, and I want to ask a few questions and kind of talk about the app and what his vision is for this thing. Trey, you on the line?
Yeah, James, I'm here.
Excellent. Hey, thanks for taking my call, taking the time. I know when you're launching an app, you're too busy. So I appreciate you taking a few moments.
Yeah, crazy.
I've been grilling you for, like I said, the iCanvas app. I was a huge fan, and then suddenly something happened. If you could let me know what the hell happened, where I was a huge fan of it all last summer and almost winter, and then it died. Did something happen with Google? Because a lot of the fans also were like, "Whoa, you're pimping this app out, and it doesn't work. What happened?"
Well, we decided to change the brand. iCanvas started out as a hobby. Really, we developed it for my company. I used to have a company that did outside sales. We had door-to-door people. So we developed it for that and put it out on the marketplace. Just we thought other people in our industry might like it, and we ended up getting a huge response, overwhelming as a matter of fact. So I said, all right, maybe we need to put a little more time into this. And we decided to rebrand it as Spotio. We feel like that kind of is more of a applicable brand for what the product does. iCanvas it gives the impression that it's, mobile only, iPhone, when in fact it's, mobile, and we have a website as well, and it's Android and iPhone. So yeah, that's kind of what happened. iCanvas went away, and we're here with Spotio.
All right, excellent. Like I said, I was a big fan of it, but I noticed that you guys, and you were promising all these really cool updates and function. I'll be honest with you. I've been training for a marathon for the past couple of weeks, and I haven't been able to hit the streets and get outdoor knocking. But when I have tested out the software, and it looks brilliant. I'm super excited to get out there. As soon as I'm done this weekend, as soon as the run is done, man, Monday night, if I can still walk, I'm gonna be hitting the streets, right. And I'm gonna really rock this thing. But if it's anything, even if it's a half as cool as the other one, or maybe a little bit more, man. So you got a fan once again, because it was killing me. I was literally door knocking with a tablet, going through my top producer database, trying to figure out how am I going to do this quicker and cleaner. So thank you for releasing this. And like I said, So now you've got a website function. Tell me about that, because I see the key features here are customized workflows with questions. You can import your own list up to the second view with what your team's doing, streamlined sales tracking, automatic syncing with Spotio.com. How does Spotio.com interact with your on the fly? Because obviously you're door knocking, you're not going to be online really to see stuff.
Right.
Tell me about that.
So on the web is where you do all the customization at this time. So if you want to change around the questions or the information that you're collecting or the statuses for different industries, they want to collect different things. So on the web is where you're going to do all that. And also one of the main features we added that was requested by real estate professionals was the ability to import a list. I know a lot of title companies are providing list of people that might be, looking to for a realtor, or just they give good data. So if you register as Spotio and ask you what industry you're in, and you select real estate, you're going to be pre-populated with a bunch of great fields that are applicable for that profession, such as house value, year built, number of bedrooms, square footage, acreage, all these things that you can now import a list, map out the columns. So when you go to a house, you're going to have all that information at your fingertips on your mobile device. And real estate agents have really been loving that feature.
Oh, that's music to my ears. And one of the notes, the high notes, was mapping. I mean, that's obviously huge because you're going to get data from all over the place. You're saying there's going to be a user-friendly, because 99.9% of the agents won't even know about data importing. But you're saying people can go to their title company, which the title company still can do. They can't give you phone numbers, but they could definitely give you a farm package. So if you call up your title company and say, hey, look, and what I would do is I want every homeowner, condos or apartments, I want every homeowner in X city, period. And give it to me on I would say a CSV file or asset comma delimit, a CSV file. Make sure you're specific. The title guys know what you're talking about, not your title rep, the one who gives you donuts. It's the guy who, in the background who sets this up. Tell him you want to talk to the guy who does the farm packages. When you call your title guy and say, let me talk to your tech guy. You want a farm package in a CSV format for every homeowner. And most of the time what they call it in our industry, you're probably familiar with it, they call it a 5-liner, which means that it's going to include name, address, year built, square feet, lot size, bedroom, bath, possibly the financing, whether it was full, financing or what sort of down payment. Sometimes they have a little more perks, bells and whistles. If it's got a pool, a view, stuff like that, sometimes that comes in. So what this app is going to do, you're going to be able to take this CSV file, that's a data file, and you're going to go on to the Spotio.com and open up, obviously sign up, register, get in there, and it's going to ask you what field you're in, and there's going to be a button, right? Am I right? There's going to be a button that says import, and you're going to find you're going to find that file that your title company gives you, and you click on it, and it's going to lay out a field of a bunch of gibberish, but as long as you line up name with name, address with address, and line it up perfectly, you're going to actually be able to take Spotio on the go the next morning or, that day, take it on the go. And as you're walking up to the front door, it's going to have a GPS software that'll tell you, hey, you're at 123 Main Street and Mr. and Mrs. Seller is the homeowner. And what sort of data am I going to see on the screen? Am I going to see like a bunch of data, or is it just going to be name and address, or am I actually going to see year built, square feet, lot size? I mean, am I going to overload with everything I need?
It's going to show whatever you import. So if you import 50 different things, then it'll all show. But if you're only going to probably choose the most applicable data for you. So, if you just want their name, address, square footage, and year built or last time sold, right, whatever, then that's what you can have.
And so you're also saying that the menu, as you're going from door to door, because again, I overthink this stuff. I do a lot of door knocking. I got a lot of time to think. I'm going door to door, and I have this thing in my hand, and I'm looking at the screen, and I walk up to my first door. It's 123 Main Street. I hit, there's going to be the button that taps the GPS and says, let's get this thing going. The GPS is going to say, okay, here you are, 123 Main Street. Are you saying that I can go in somewhere in the background and say, here are the fields that I want to see, or is it going to automatically populate based on your templates?
No, yeah, you can it's all customizable.
So if for some reason I've got a strange reason for me wanting to know if it has a pool, and that's one of the fields that come in, I can actually lay it out so that every pool home that I walk up to will be there. On the screen. Man, see what I mean? The customization, I'm loving this, Trey. It's awesome because there's so much thought put into what's happening and what you want at your fingertip. And like I said, it was kind of fun when I was going door to door, when I had to let go of iCanvas for that a couple of months because it would not work. I wiped out my phone. You sat with me for a couple of minutes trying to figure it out. I blasted my phone. I bought a new iPad. I tried it on that. Nothing would work with iCanvas towards the very end, where I was like, ugh. So I actually went out and loaded everyone in Top Producer, and I was literally going through my Top Producer database and scrolling through and just tapping on the address as it went through. But when you go to a door with a tablet in your hand, my personal feeling when I'm going door to door, the less you have in your hand, the less intrusive it is. You see these people who are going door to door selling, and they got a bag or they've got some sort of tablet in their hand, and the first thing I see is, okay, what crap are you selling? You want my name on that list? Forget it. But I feel that if I just have simply my stack of propaganda in my back pocket, where there's door hangers, I stack 50 or 80 in my back pocket. I got big back pockets, and a phone in my hand. I'm literally almost giving the appearance, and maybe that's just my impression, that I'm a neighbor coming up to ask a question, or that I'm just here for a couple minutes. And as long as I'm presentable and I got a clean cut, I don't like the Night Stalker coming up there. I'm actually a presentable person. So wow, okay, importing your own lists, and now I'm going to be able to manipulate that data on the fly too. So if I show up and it's a renter, can I go in there and then indicate or modify fields to say renter, add a new address, take notes on the fly?
Absolutely, yeah. So that's the whole basis of having a tool like this, is for you to build out your own database. So what people you want to follow up with. The areas you've worked, and you have your own database that you're going to be more efficient when you go knock doors. And not only that, but when you follow up, so you know where to go, who to talk to, and what they talked about or what they told you last time. And it's going to save a lot of time, and you're going to be able to ultimately convert more leads into sales that way. One thing I do want to mention while we're on the topic of importing is we had some issues right after the launch of Spotio where we were having tens of thousands of pins imported at a time, and the system was running very, very slowly. So we're rolling out some fixes for that over the weekend, but definitely don't just load in 50,000 or 100,000 addresses because it'll work a little slow. I'm going to recommend just doing maybe a neighborhood at a time and kind of build up, because if you do it all at once, it can kind of just overload the system. So that's something important that I wanted to mention.
All right. So just as a side note for those who do listen and don't really know how the tech goes, if you ask your title company to go in and say, hey, I want it broken down. So ask them to break it down into chunks of 10,000 per neighborhood. They could probably break it down to certain zip codes or area codes or give them perimeters, but make sure, and this is a data thing, because as obviously as Spotio grows and that fix gets fixed, so are you saying I can do 10,000 today and maybe in 2 weeks from now, I can load another 10,000. Just don't shove my 100,000 today, but I can break it down over 4 weeks.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So guys listening and watching the YouTube, because it's also on YouTube, just bring it in chunks. Don't kill Trey's system yet, man. He wanted to launch this thing so that we can just get back to work. And man, I'm excited for it. So up to the second view of what your team is doing, how's that working? You're going to have different logins for the same database. So you'll have people sharing the leads. I guess that wouldn't really be, as a real estate agent, I've never really heard of one realtor having their other realtor knocks. Are you like focusing on brokers knocking on everyone's door, but then everyone would see what other people's leads are doing? What was the idea behind a team?
Well, that's a lot has to do with the other industries that use Spotio, that have door-to-door teams. But it's permission based. So you can, let's say you were a broker and you had 50 agents. You can create an account in Spotio and add users to your account and give them a permission level to where they can only see their pins. That way the manager or the admin can see everybody's, and then the individual only sees theirs. And that's the way that you can have a good snapshot of what your whole team's doing. And so that's how managers are using it to be much more effective, because let's say your top producer knocks 100 doors a week and he's getting 10 leads out of it. Well, then, you're going to want to bring everybody up to that level. Say, look, this person's getting 10 leads by only knocking 100 doors.
Excellent.
We need to get everybody up to that level. So that's what we're going to be tracking this week, is everybody's going to do 100 doors. So you kind of break the process down into stages. So I can't go out and control today whether I get a sell or not. I can't. I'd love to, and I'm going to try to, but I can't control that. What I can control is I can go out and knock a certain number of doors. I can 100% control my activities for the day by doing that. And so if I know that X number of doors leads to X number of sales down the road, I'm going to be much more motivated today to go out and do the activities so I get the results.
Excellent. Okay, so then I'm thinking more like a manager. Then in the real estate industry, it would work. As a manager, there are some times that the managers want, or owners want, what's called designated farms or territories where agents do work. And not necessarily does it mean in some cases that agents cannot mail into one farm or another. I mean, sometimes it's just a respect thing, that if someone's got a domination, I always recommend to my listeners, if the guy next to you in your same company is kicking butt in the area you want to work, go to another company. That's all there is to it. And I've done that before. One time I went into a Century 21 in Huntington Beach, And I showed up and I was all excited. I was already about 8 or 9 years in the business. I was doing good. And I walked in the first day after I signed up everything, didn't ask, the right questions. Now I got better questions. And I walked into the back room and I saw a map with all sorts of highlighters and colors. And I'm like, what's this? And he goes, oh, these are designated farms, areas you can't touch. I'm like, what? Yeah, where's my license? I cannot do this. He goes, what do you mean? I said, I cold call a lot. I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, that's in John's area. John hasn't worked this area in 6 months. Forget it. I can't do it. So I literally walked out and went to another one that was not like that. But that's very rare in this instance. But as a manager, as a broker, if you really want, if you know that you have agents within certain territories, and if they want to dominate, man, I would strongly recommend that they do get a managerial account. So how does the breakdown of the cost? Let's talk money, because that might change over time, right? What is the cost now in June 2014? What does it cost for one individual, and how does this team cost work out?
So the costs are the same across the board. It's $24 per user per month. No contracts. You can cancel anytime. There's a 14-day free trial, and we do not request a credit card up front. So at the end of the trial, if you don't want to use the product, then you can move on, and your account will go inactive. So for brokers that have over 25 users, we offer discounts. And if you want to pay a year in advance, we also have a discount for that as well. So other than that, it's just a month-to-month deal.
That's good. That's good. So here's my suggestion to the listeners. Get your database from the title company, download the app, get online, start that free trial the morning you're going to go door knock. And I'm not kidding. For $24, that is stupid cheap for the technology to be. I mean, it's beautiful. You know, what I really liked was that that you can go door to door, and the little pins, the little flags as you're walking up. And at the end of the day, you can see all the doors that you knocked. And it's kind of like this little meter to see. But one time I went and posted it on Facebook, and I was like, hey, hard day of door knocking. And I looked at the screen. I'm like, oh, crap. I just pointed out where all the green leads are. I'm never doing that. So you got to do like a black and white function to share with your social network to just show off. But yeah, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, yank. I mean, I was telling pretty much all my competition where the leads were. Hello. So, all right, streamlined sales tracking. I mean, automatic syncing with Spotio over the cloud. So it's just awesome. Now, obviously, it does incur data charges. Is it a data hog when you're on? I mean, what about like getting calls? Can you answer the phone? Does it break into your dialer? How does that interact with everything else that's going on?
No, we try to keep it as minimal as possible. When you do tap on a house, it has to use the GPS we're sending a longitude and latitude and bringing back an address. So it is going to use that functionality. But from what I've been told, that good old Google and Apple are tracking where you're at anyway. So
right.
It's already doing that. So yeah, I haven't got complaints about running out of batteries or dying. And of course, if you're out there 6-7 hours, yeah, that's going to be a problem. But if you're just doing it, an hour, 2, 3 at a time, you should be fine.
Excellent. And so I'll be, again, being with the notes, I'll be able to import and export, maybe even if people want to use a contact management software, if they have several leads, I'll be able to go into your database, and for that day or at the end of the week, let's say I got 15 or 20 leads, I can go in there and say, give me the ones that said yes, and export that small amount so I can import it into, say, Top Producer or my contact manager of choice. Can I go in there and pluck out the leads and export rather than typing them into another? Because a lot of times we have a conflict between, okay, hey, I love your app, but you're not a contact management software yet, right? I mean, are you guys going there?
Well, that's a good question. Some people use it as a full contact manager. It's not really designed to be. It's designed to be a very good front-end prospecting application, but we do have people and companies using it as a full CRM. With this latest release to Spotio, we now integrate with Zapier, Zatier.
Right.
And what that is, it's an API. So now Spotio works with 300 or so other softwares out there, including your most popular CRMs like Salesforce.com, Zoho, Pipedrive, Base, all these other ones. So what you can do is set it up to say, okay, when I get a lead in Spotio, I want it to automatically create a contact in Salesforce, and it's going to be at this stage, and I want to transfer this information. So there is a really good way to get that information automatically, so you don't have to do double entering. But let's say, like with Top Producer, it doesn't integrate with that. So what you can do is download it as a CSV in about 2 clicks, and then import it right in, so you don't have to double enter any data.
Right, right. Do you know of any specific real estate softwares? I know you mentioned the big boys, the Salesforce. I've looked at it, but I mean, there's just not enough customization towards the real estate industry. I mean, it's a good contact manager. Obviously, it's the best. And that Zapier, people, if you want to blow your mind at the functionalities and integrations that you can, if you have time to kill a whole week or two to kill on understanding that Zapier, it's insane. I mean, there's so much, it links all sorts of crazy software that you didn't know. And once you start digging around, people make, from Evernote to Salesforce to, Skype. I mean, it's a cross linking where it just connects all your software, but it'll blow your mind. I like it. I have Google Glass, and that's how I discovered Zapier, because it does a lot, with Glass that normally it doesn't. So you're saying, do you have any ideas for real estate softwares that off the top of your head plays nice with it?
No, I don't
have to do that.
I don't believe any. None of them work with Zapier, right? Yet the real estate CRMs that I've tried to look for them, but they don't. So if anybody from these other real estate CRM companies are listening, please contact me, because we'd definitely be interested in working with you to put that process in place.
Yeah, your best bet is Top Producer, because they do play nice with Google Calendar and Gmail. So, but that's about it. But man, God, could you, that would blow my mind if you held hands with Top Producer.
Yeah.
Game over, that'd be great. So, excellent, man. I really appreciate you answering all these questions.
We make ourselves very available to answer questions or help you get set up. I don't have real estate experience, but through my contact with all the agents out there using the app, I'm learning what y'all want to see and kind of how your process works. So I'll do all I can to help out.
Hey, I really appreciate you seriously taking the time, because I'm super excited about this app. I was eagerly awaiting the release of this. And like I told you before, I'm gladly a guinea pig as long as you listen to me squeal. I'll definitely be I'll be an ally over here. I got a lot of people who listen to what I do, and that's my thing online, where people come to me is the door knocking. That seems to get a lot of the hits on the YouTube and the episode. So when I saw that there was an app out there, I was super excited. And when you're so accessible, that was just like, okay, finally I got someone who might actually, jive with what the focus of what we're trying to do door to door. And that's your big industry, man. That's gonna be your biggest heavy hitter. If we can get these agents to actually step up and, not cheese out on $24 a month, they'll have a really exciting, for me, it's exciting because, it's something to do in between the doors. And, door knocking is not boring, people. If you have something fun and interesting to track, and you can see all these stats and numbers, and just streamline your sales process from door to door. So I'm very happy. But so anyhow, I should have asked everyone to check my affiliate link, right? I'm going to set that up before the show airs. And if you go to yourfirstdayinrealestate.com, you will definitely see on the right-hand side, Spotio is going to be a proud sponsor of the show. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that you guys get that affiliate link and have easy access to the app. And if anyone ever has any questions about how to function on the doors, call me. If anyone has any questions on how to function on the phones with this app, reach out to Trey. I mean, they're all really super supportive. And you also have a Twitter handle for those of you guys who like to do the Twitter. It's Get Spotio, right?
Yeah.
GETSPOTIO. So start spreading the word, people, and let's make this app happen for everyone who's. I can't imagine going to a door without it. Let's just put it that way. And you shouldn't go to a door without it. All right.
Well, thanks for your support, James.
Hey, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, and we'll definitely be keeping in touch.
All right, sounds good. Talk to you later.
Bye. For a 14-day trial of the Spotio door knocking app, please visit realestateSalesTrainerandCoach.com. On the right-hand side, click the link. This episode is brought to you by Mojo Selling Solutions, the triple automated dialer I will not live without. The potential of being able to call more people in less time is how you will succeed. So go to mojosales.com. Also, this episode is brought to you by LandVoice. They will give you your for sale by owners and expireds into your inbox every day, washed to the do not call list. They're the low-hanging fruit, people. Get with the LandVoice. Go to yourfirstdayinrealestate.com on the right-hand side and sign up. And also, this is brought to you by Top Producer, simply the best contact management software for real estate agents. Go to Your First Day in Real Estate on the right-hand side and make sure that you sign up and get yourself back to work.